But Cha specifically, I don't know because I'm looking at that thing and I'm like, boss, here's the report on those 6 hunters who died in that dungeon. And the 2 who managed to escape was this one D rank and then this E rank. Isn't that shit weird? They probably just ran away and then got out of there. This is kind of a normality. No, but I'm saying it's weird because they killed the boss. Like, the dungeon's done. Fuck you talking about, man? Because there was the D rank hunter, Jinho, and word on the street is he had like top of the line Versace armor. So I mean, I could understand him being durable in that sense. The E rank dude is the one who's weird to me because he's the kid that survived the double dungeon. I beg your pardon? And the worst part about it, for him at least, one of the dudes that died was Hwang Dong-suki, Dongsu's brother. Yeah, this smells like trouble. Alright, so saw the first 3 episodes, made a video. Saw the next 3 episodes, made a video. And now here's the final stretch. Solo leveling has been I don't want to say surprising because a lot of people anticipated this show and were excited for this show. But I would say surprising in the sense that it has been adapted a bit better than I think everyone expected it to be. So after Sung reverse jumps Dong-suki and his saplings, I don't want to say he's starting controversy in the solo leveling world, but he's definitely stirring something because his identity is sort of getting leaked out there and it's like shit's happening. People are trying to understand why. And it's really all stemming from him because Jinho, he may not be the strongest, but he definitely is strong when it comes to business. Take Sung out to Starbucks to have a business meeting. Boss, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know what the fuck you've got going on. I don't. And I've got to say I really appreciate it and admire it. When it comes to me, I think it's clearly evident that we've seen the armor I wear is for show, and I hate to admit it to you, but I'm a bitch, you know. So I'm here to strike a deal with you. We could come together with a team, and they could be scrubs off the street. I don't care. You pick them. You hand pick them. I'll get all the loot, and then you just kill the shit. You do whatever you got to do. Level up, train. I don't know what it is, and together we could build this shit up into a monopoly. I just want to know if you're like with me right now, and if you're kind of down for this shit. No, I'm not. This shit's trash. I don't want any part of this. Boss, why not? This would work out great for us, and then you would keep your identity a secret, and I would move up in the way I want to move up. No, I see what you're saying, but I don't think the incentive is strong enough for me. Boss, shut the fuck up. Have a look at this. I need this building, and you said there's no incentive, so listen to me when I say this shit clearly. 30 B's, nigga. That's what I'm willing to offer you if you do this with me. Jinho, this is a generous-ass offer, and I appreciate it, but sorry. Gotta find someone else. Hold the fuck up. If you don't take this offer, I'm exposing your ass on X tonight. I'm letting everyone know what the fuck you got going on. You know your ass won't do shit, little ass nigga, and I promise you if I see one peep about my name, just type the letter S on a fucking tweet, and I'll carve one into your fucking chest, you hear me? Yeah, so Jinho's business deal wasn't successful at first, but obviously watching that the first, like, you know they're gonna work together. But we do get some insight into Dong-suki's brother, and I don't know who he has working under him, but she's not Cha, so I don't have any business with her. He's speaking very cryptically, and this is why I think he's either going to go after Sung's mom, sister. I don't know. That's the thing. So I'm interested to see which direction he takes. The main thing that happened in episode 7 was Sung going into an S-rank dungeon and fighting with Cerberus. He was boxing with him. It was a good little fight. If I had one thing to say up until this point, and I know he's leveling up, so I wouldn't call it plot armor, but it's like he has yet to lose. That's the only annoying thing at times, but he also hasn't fought very meaningful enemies other than like Dong-sucking them. And he just starts unloading on Cerberus. And you know he was outmatched for that boss because he leveled up like 10 fucking times. And I guess this S-rank dungeon is where like the nether castle is and the elixir of life is located in there that he's probably gonna get for his mother at some point. I feel like that shit's either going to be fake or stolen from him or something, because I don't think his mom makes it out alive in any capacity. Yeah, no, but I'd say episode 8 really got me excited for the future of this story. And it's like, when I'm getting excited about stuff like this, I'm like, wow, I really gotta go outside. And I do go outside frequently. But it's like the fact that these comments are even able to be brewed in my brain and come out of my mouth, like, it scares me. I just need to get myself away from Cha, because she's like a drug at this point. Because we've got formal Cha, we've got a museum attire Cha, we've got battle Cha, and now we've got athletic Cha. This is too much for me to handle. Because she's running around that track and she's hitting like 45-second laps. She's fucking moving with her Nike Flyknit racers. I see those. But yeah, no, we see her guzzling some water, looking as riveting as ever. Now this, when it comes to the woman's anatomy, first off, I know Cha's sitting down, but these hips, again, electromagnetic spectrum, radio wave, I don't think I'm handling this. And it's like, I can handle a lot of things, believe it or not. Like, I know I'm sitting here and I make jokes about animated women. Real talk, see me out in the street, I'm beating ass. Like, I think I'm actually a very well-versed individual, but with Cha specifically, I don't know, because I'm looking at that thing and I'm like, And I would have pulled up on her just like this nigga, business suit and all, but I wouldn't be in this charcoal gray. I would be in my nice forest green, as you can see in the picture here. Yeah, because I'm looking at Cha strut and I don't know what to do with myself. But I'm gonna do the cha-cha slide. They made that song for her, believe it or not. And if she asked me to do those moves, I would do those moves all day. After Cha did what she did on that track, we found out a couple things. One of them being that the captain of their first dungeon dive is out here practicing his sword play with one arm, so he's still on the grind, he's still on the come up. And we also see the phony that decided to betray everyone and his family dynamic and everything. And I'm not gonna lie, if I was in his position, I'm out of there myself. As selfish as that sounds. And they have a little reunion. And we see Juhi. You know, and I know she's going through a rough patch, so I'm not going to full-on criticize her for the hairstyle choice right now. But I think I said it in a reaction. Her bangs kind of look like an incomplete barcode. But I know when her ass saw him for the first time, she damn near soiled herself. Look what the fucking cat dragged in, nigga. Jinwoo. Ju, is that you? Jin, if this is you. Jin, this is not you, right? Because I'm horny as fuck. Jin, is this you really? Girl, come on, you know. What nice shoulders you have. How tall you've gotten. What a nice chin. Have you been mewing? And we had some niggas from Impel Down pull up. So far, I'd say the best part of the season is what took place in this dungeon with this purple haired dude. Him pulling up with these prisoners, going into detail about how there's a program in which prisoners who like don't have a strict sentence can like do dungeons for like lighter sentences or some shit like that. I thought he was just going to be suspicious of Sung and wondering like how the fuck he went from 5'11" to 6'4". I don't know, like that's the direction I was thinking. I had no thoughts at all of this nigga being villainous. But they split up in search for clues, and he's having a little monologue here and talking about how he's going to apologize to Sung. I was happy to see it, and I thought it was gonna happen. Until we learned that this purple-haired freak was basically the Joker. Some girl's dad's sitting here pleading to him about how these 3 men in prison assaulted his daughter, did whatever, and now they're possibly being let out because they're hopping in this dungeon. Offers him $3 billion. And I don't know what that equivalates to in USD. I just looked it up, it's $19 million. I don't know where everyone is getting this fucking money from. So we see him slaughter them, and then Kim and, I think his name was Kang, I don't remember the other nigga's name, I'm gonna call him Kong. My mind right now, as I was watching this the first time, I'm like, maybe he just offers them half of the fucking pot to keep their mouths quiet. But you could tell that the way he was talking to them, that he had no intention of letting them even see the next part of the cave. Sung Juhi and the captain pull up. I keep giving Ju the benefit of the doubt, and I know she's going through it. I know we're all going through it, Ju. You can't be sitting here and just at the sight of blood. You're the healer, get to it. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm telling it like it is. And if you look at all of their wounds, especially Kim, it's like he wanted this nigga to suffer. I got stuck bad. You snuck me bad, and I was gonna apologize to you. I was gonna even introduce you to my family. I was maybe even gonna invite you out to lunch on me though. That's like, I was gonna treat you and everything. Man, I'm sorry. Sung, I really fucking am. That's real. Nurple's up here on the ceiling like a fucking cave spider. What the fuck is this? And he went straight for Ju. I know that agitated Sung because it agitated me. Captain does what the fuck he's supposed to do. Kim, give me this sword. And then he has Juhi cast a buff on his ass. And in the show so far, excluding Cha, he's like my favorite character. What the fuck is a washed up mage like yourself gonna do? Nigga, we're done with the 90s. You don't get it, kid. The game was more physical back in the day. You niggas are pussies now. Yeah, and I take back everything I said about Ju actually. And some. Ju's got that curvature. Lord of mercy. That is curvaceous, dare I say. That crease is eating that fabric. And that's how you know it's serious. So I take back everything I said about Ju, and you do what you gotta do, girl, with that half bar code. You work that thing. And Nurple speed blitzes her, and Mr. Sung catches him, but then he starts getting cut up from every angle. This was a good fight. You could tell it was like the old generation versus the new generation. But once Sung stepped in, I knew Juhi was horny because I sure as hell was. Sung Jinwoo E-rank. Bitch. What? E-rank? What a bunch of bullshit, nigga. You blocked me twice now. I don't know what you're on, but this is not some E-rank shit. I'm gonna be honest, I reckon that you had a second awakening. And even if I did, what's that matter to you? Why'd you kill these prisoners? And the laugh that this dude let out was very goblin-like. And it sounded like it came straight from like Clash of Clans or some shit. Yeah, and I knew once he was willing to crease his Sakai waffles, it was getting serious. Cause those aren't cheap. That's like $400 or $500. And I feel like that was unnecessary because he sure as hell was already stretched out after whatever the fuck they were just doing. And quite frankly, I think Nurple's an idiot. Because if I see someone hopscotching before they're getting ready to attack me, I'm not even giving them a chance to get a third jump in. Because I'm swinging as fast as I fucking can. Sung fucking sidestepped and slashed his cheek just a little bit, and then the poison started spreading throughout the nigga's body. But no, they really started like boxing good though. Like even with the poison in him, I'll give it to Nurple, like he was fucking moving. Even after Sung did his little 1-2 step. This is light work, no reaction. Darling! Shut that shit down right now. Unless you want me to skin you first, because it is bunny hunting season. Damn, maybe we are done with the 90s. That shit was cold. Mr. E-rank, that shit hurt. Because there's going to be a whole lot more where that came from. Hey, are you done? Alright, good. Full recovery? Yeah, let's get to what you were saying, stupid ass, dumbass, little ass. And I really hate using the word aura because I feel like one, it's overplayed, and two, a lot of the times it could be used in a very corniest type of way. But if we're talking aura, gotta be honest here, Sung has it. That shit's leaking out, nigga. Once Sung does the little dagger flip, your battle's over. And Sung unlocked a new skill. It was like a Conqueror's Hockey domain expansion mix. Yoriki Tenka, the abyss of a real nigga. You got me. But you and me, you know, we're the same. Sung, I am you. Nigga, this is not Jujutsu Kaisen. I know I just did my domain and shit like I was just doing that for the fans. You're not Mahito, I'm not Itadori, we're not doing that. Yeah, and he was so locked in that we didn't even see the boss battle. Because that shit was handled within seconds. And after that, of course, like, so Sung didn't get his identity figured out. Mr. Sung took responsibility for taking down Nurple. And you gotta love him for that. And then, you know, Drew was getting serious here because she had the shoulders out. Like this, now we're going to Cheesecake. And I won't lie to you, she's grown on me. You know, I thought something was blossoming here and I was very excited to see it. She returned his little crystal that they were gonna use to pay for Cheesecake. And she lets him know that she's gonna retire. And you know, it was sad to see, but she was letting him know, like, if he's in the area, to just hit her up and maybe they could go get lunch. So she was like basically hitting him with the buyback clause. And if I was Sung, I mean, I would be upset, but you know, gotta move on. Life's not stopping for anything. It's like he can't go over here chasing her because he has a job to do. We have to solo level. All right. So Jinho rallies up a squad that I feel like is rivaling the bootleg Straw Hats, because we have Sung's sister's friend. We have a random Pokemon trainer with his Snorlax. That was mean. Genuinely, I don't even make negative jokes. That was mean. Nonetheless, that doesn't take away from the fact that we have a nigga on crutches right now. I don't even think we're making it off the battle bus with this team. I know their objective is to do absolutely nothing. You know, so Jin actually did a great job here gathering this team. So they're getting ready to hop into this, and I don't know, like, I know Jin has money, but I didn't know he has this shit like this. I didn't think he could get better than the Versace shit, but he has some end of game type armor on right now with Melania's helmet. Probably has waterfowl dance equipped. Yeah, so Sung and Jinho are running their little scheme, and Sung has the scouts looking out for him. This guy right here tried recruiting Sung to one of the new teams the NBA is trying to expand upon, and they have a little business meeting. So I'm sure you're aware that the White Tiger Guild is one of the most prolific guilds in the country. We're always looking for promising new talent, and let me tell you straight up, brother, that's you. I'm willing to offer you double of what your Jinho, whatever that nigga's name is. Whatever he's giving you, I'm giving you double. What's your little guild valued at? I would say somewhere around 50 or so billion. So then is that what your ass is gonna offer me? The whole thing? Fuck you talking about, man? I'm saying right now I'm getting paid 30 Bs. So you're giving me 60? 30 Bs, nigga? Are you out of your mind? The contract I have right now is a 30 billion 5-year deal with the no trade clause. You offered to double it, and I'm the one that's actually coming down for you. But what you're asking me is probably going to be the biggest deal in league history, so I may have to just talk to my higher ups about that and get back to you possibly. Nah, I'm straight then. It seems like we're done here. I'm a bit intrigued though. How'd you hear about me? Because if you've been snooping around, I could ice your ass right here. Listen, I apologize. It won't happen again. The market has been really tight right now for rookies. You look forward when I'm talking to you, boy. Do not turn around. That's number one. Go on. My fault. I was investigating who was buying up all the gates, and then the market was like crashing. Like there was a lot to it. And who else knows about me? Just one of my underlings. Good. Okay, so here's what I'll say. I'd be willing to make a deal with you if you're willing to buy the gates from us. I'd be willing to sell you them for 300 mil a piece. What the fuck? If you acquire every single centimeter of loot in a fucking dungeon, that's just maybe worth 200 mil on a good day. Could we at least lower the price to that? Like what? All right, it's a deal then. 3 sea gates for a total of 600 mil. Yeah, so Sung robbed that company blind. And he's still a free agent. But no, so the last 2 episodes of the season happened a bit quick. I'm not gonna lie to you. because episode 10 ended and then he just pulled up to Stormvale Castle doing a job change quest. And we see Sung getting jumped by a couple of knights. But before we got any deeper into his little adventure, we saw the Jinho family dinner. What's the matter, Jinho? You barely touched your wagyu with the side of shrub. Are you okay? It's nothing, Dad. It's nothing. I'm getting to it. Jin Sung, since shit's so funny, how is the guild going? I've heard all the S ranks that you've been making offers to have declined. Cause I was asking you #1 priority, get Cha. I told you with Cha specifically to give her the most lucrative deal that you can. Empty my fucking bank account. And you couldn't even pull that shit off? Well, it's true that Min Byung and Cha did turn me down. But that won't be an issue for me. I've got negotiations underway with the European and the Middle Eastern hunters, and possibly some North American hunters as well. And I know you love your Cha, but let me tell you, these Europeans are something special. Okay, Pops, they are something special. So just have some patience with me and let me do what I do best. But more importantly, Jinho, I see you're buying up all the C-rank ranks at a very high price, trying to get yourself out there and build rapport. That's fine on some sissy middle schooler shit, but I mean, like, this is the adult world. So I've got one thing to tell you. Don't you dare think of getting in my way, fuck nigga. This jackass doesn't know shit, bruh. I swear to God, bruh. Like, I won't even be getting in his way because I'll be way past that. Fucking. Yeah, so there's tension in the Jinho household. So we'll see how that progresses. But no, so Sung's getting jumped by like every type of enemy he's ever faced. And we're getting some nice perspectives with this little drone shot. And it's like, it had some CGI, but it was like a nice mix and the movement was very fluid. The choreography in this show is some of the best I've ever seen, just from like how they focus on the movements, if that makes sense. Similar to JJK. So he pulls up on this Igris nigga, and this reminded me of some shit. I don't know what, but like the way this nigga just was like strutting his shit, came around the corner, and I do like how they got right to it. And Igris just blitzed the fuck out of Sung. And I will say the choreography in this fight was some of the best in the whole show so far. Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how the fuck Sung wins these fights. I really don't. Seeing the type of performance that Igris was putting on here was some MVP season type of shit. And he was really working the fuck out of Sung. When Sung sees his dagger is not doing damage to his armor and he just puts up his fist, I'm not gonna lie, that was hard from Sung. Considering Igris is wielding fucking Guts Blade damn near. But seeing Igris do the same shit, throw his sword away, throw his daggers away, take off his cape and square that shit up himself, yeah, no. And then Sung said, no, you're being chivalrous, but he's just being a real ass nigga. And before they start boxing, there is something going on with Red Robin and Jae-Joon, and it seems like he's on his Tony Stark shit about to lead the Avengers, where Cha happens to be accompanying him. Robin, you know Jeju Island is serious business, right? Remember last time? I'm fully aware, sir, but times have changed. You can't see the angle I'm at right now because we're speaking through the phone, but I've really got this shit on and the light is hitting me just right. And I'm feeling good about this expedition. Robin, I could picture that shit right now. I really can, but I'm still worried about your safety. This battle at Jeju Island, I know it worries you and you're thinking that this is a round 2, but for me, this battle has never ended. Yeah, so after that, Igris is not even squaring up with the nigga. Sung squared up and he's ready to go. Igris is not even ready and somehow still blitzes Sung and guts him in his fucking abdomen. And he starts giving him that Itadori Mahito's treatment when he had Mahito pinned against the wall and gave him the family nugget meal. And I know Sung has armor on right now, but he's really tanking the shit too. Look at this back and forth. Oh my gosh. Nastiest part is when Sung hit the nigga with the tornado twister kick, caught him in the neck, caught him good actually, but then puts Igris in an enraged state and he starts beating ass airborne. Hit him to the ground, sprung him back up, that's a large coke, and then that right hook, I actually have been learning this one. Look at the form, because you could tell he's right-handed because he has that lead foot in front with the left. Look at the hip torque. Ugh. I'm basically a professional. He's bouncing this nigga off the ground like a fucking basketball. He drops the kick on him, launches him in the sky again, grabs him, throws him into the wall, drags him against the concrete, throws him again, and then Sung lands in the throne. And see, this is one of my only problems with solo leveling so far. It's whatever the fuck happened here. And now granted, if I start screaming, like I could bring myself to another level as well in terms of my physical capabilities. But Igris, the only lick of damage this nigga has on him was from that tornado twister of a kick that Sung gave him. Because other than that, Igris had Sung on the ropes this whole time, and he's been bobbing and weaving everything he's been throwing at him. And this fight would have been over if he had the sword out. I don't know if this was an intentional bait, but we see Igris use his little force, and then he tries taking Sung's head off full power, and then somehow he catches the blade. This is what I'm talking about. And don't get me wrong, this shit was nasty. Sung is actually the definition of just lock in. Every single time, he just locks in and then wins it. And it's like, it's a cool thing to see, but it's also kind of annoying because it feels plot armory, but at the same time, you know it's like not. But yeah, no, this hand-drawn scene, yeah, you know he's winning the fight after that. As an enemy, if you see that the main protagonist is starting to get hand-drawn in any type of way, and the animation's starting to get messy, you've lost that battle. It just seemed too easy at the end, considering he was like struggling. That was the end of the fight. He got all of his armor sets, but then he starts a time trial, a gauntlet of enemies or something. And he's fighting them all with fists too. Yeah, and before he tackles this final obstacle, we're taken to Jeju Island unit, and we see the roster of people in the ship. And of course we see Cha-Cha, you know, she's there. But I think this is a member of her regime, the Frisky Foursome. Now granted, I was talking about it in the reaction, and someone was talking, like, I already knew like the history on this, right? Like usually in video games, like you could be walking bare naked, but have armor sets on you, quote unquote, that are invisible. Same shit that Sung has on. Thing is, right, I see Cha, I'm happy. I see her friend, I'm happier. Like, these are two different women. Let's break it down really quick. Cha, she's like a athletic woman. We saw her running track. She was killing it. This one though, Miss Librarian, I'm gonna call her that. She's dressing up as a maid, and I'm looking and I'm just seeing a lot of books, dare I say. This is a free country, and you present yourself however you want to present yourself. But if we're going to battle, I don't know why we're wearing a maid outfit. Because if we're like a support, like what are we supporting? We getting bricked? I may take Cha in 7 games over the maid librarian lady, but it can go either way. Yeah, but no, Sung's getting jumped so bad to the point of schizophrenia. And see, again, this is what I really like about this show, that Gore, like you could see he's been putting in that work and really fucking fighting, because we're looking at his knuckles and like the skin is ripping off. You know they call him the weakest hunter of mankind, right? The weakest? Not the strongest? Nope, weakest hunter. He's a bitch. Straight up 8th note. He is a bitch. He's so right, Jinwoo. You just better stop. If you don't stop, you're not coming to Cheesecake with me. You are trash, nigga. Why do you keep going? What is it that you desire? And honestly, I'm impressed that you've gotten this far from where we used to be. But at the end of the day, you're always gonna end up in the same spot, being a bum. If the outcome is always gonna be the same, why keep pushing? Cause yeah, you look different now. You're hot. You hop on Tinder, you could get 6 to 10 matches in one night. Inside, we're still the weak little bitch we always have been. And for some reason, his daily quest pulls up, and out of everything, like, yeah, he beat Igris, and that was a little like, okay, maybe plot armor or whatever. This felt like plot armor. Unless I was just interpreting the scene wrong, and like this was supposed to happen or something, and the system was like purposely making him do this. Cause I know his hallucination, younger version of himself was like, oh, seems like they don't want you to die yet. So maybe that's what happened. But even so, in the moment, I guess it felt a little plot armory. But he has a little mini training session to regain health, and then he equips the red dagger. Sung figures out the strat. He eventually becomes a Jedi, equips the Force, and he just starts taking out all the mages that are conjuring up the knights. And that was a sick scene in itself. And then he gets the notification saying that his job is now a necromancer. I wasn't thinking about like how cool that would be, especially if he could still like wield his daggers in the same way. And then that's also when I understood like what the Arise thing meant. Once he got the title Shadow Monarch, I knew Cha was his. Juhi, she could stay at her hometown in fucking South Dakota. This is the Cha show now. You don't just walk around with the name Shadow Monarch and don't have a Chahe-in or a mischievous maid under your right and left arm. And look at the dark aura resonating from his body right now. This nigga's hot. Shadow Monarch Sung? Are you kidding me? Is saying I have to designate a command word for this? Okido. I know I hit that shit. But no. So yeah, that was the whole Arise thing. And I think it sounds, I don't know if the dub is coming out simultaneously with the sub, but I mean, I think him saying Okido sounds tough, especially when he changed his voice for it. He didn't even have to do that, but I know he just wanted to sound sexy doing it. And then he has the whole army, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't expect him to get Igris, but the fact that he did is a little ridiculous. He tried waking him up the first time and he said it like a bitch. Okido. Nigga, what did you say? Okie dokie? Okido. Damn. Knight Commander Igris, you are a warrior, but in our battle you were a scurrier. And I'ma scurry you and I'ma take you to the ends, but I know that me and you, we cannot pretend like we cannot be friends. You're cutting down foes with that sword, and that should be your purpose in life. But guess what? Chahe-in is going to be my future wife. You're sitting here waiting for your king. Well, guess what? He's already here, because it's Sung Jinwoo, the Shadow Monarch that you're about to fear, nigga. Wake the fuck up. Serve me with your sword and do this dosido. Igris, open your eyes. Okido. Oh my gosh. No, and seeing them all bow to him, that shit was really nice. And then once you saw that glow in his eyes, I felt my like inner soul rattle a little bit. Like I was like, that was like a villainous type of like excitement. Like that wasn't the excitement of a good guy. I feel like there's going to become a point in the show where he gets so like overwhelmed with power that he may start leaning towards like, I don't want to call it the dark side, but he's not going to be morally just, but like he just lacks like empathy and sympathy and love and shit like that. Because him being a necromancer, as well as him already being well versed in like every physical category, has to put him at A rank, high A. I could not see Cha beating this nigga. Even I don't even know what Red Robin's capable of. I just saw him shoot some flames. I think Sung is beating damn near everyone in the show right now. And yeah, at the end we see Cha and Red Robin see that the ants are evolving or something like that. And I guess that'll be like the main point of next season. But all in all, I think season 1 was a really good time, and it didn't have much flaws for what the show was trying to accomplish. I personally feel like, it's like, I feel like most people already know going into this that this is going to be a show about some guy who acquires power and he just levels up and up and up and up and becomes nonsensically broken. And they make that evident in each dungeon he's went into and every battle he's faced. But I will say the one thing I don't like about it is how he has overcame like every single obstacle just by like screaming in the mic. And it's like he could do everything but hold the teleportation stone correctly, either with the S-rank dungeon or no, I'd say probably the S-rank dungeon, because I felt like the necromancer thing was a bit necessary, like moving forward, him becoming the necromancer now. But like when he was really getting his ass beat in that S-rank dungeon and he was trying to teleport out of there, I think he should have probably went that route to show that maybe he isn't capable of handling everything. And then once he developed throughout the rest of the season, he would like go back there, one shot the nigga, and then just like move. I felt like that would have been a better way to like showcase the strength of that dungeon. Or maybe not one shot him, but then have an actual battle with that Cerberus enemy to give like a bit more separation and power. Because as I said, it's like him pulling up to that now, knowing what we know already, it's like he would have one-shot that dog like easily with his whole army and 2 daggers and everything. He's one-shotting that dog. So I feel like that's like my only issue. Even with Igris, like I don't even know how the fuck he came out of that shit alive. I know he was being crafty and baited him and whatever, but like still little things like that seem a little plot armorish, but also at the same time it's like I get it for the show, but it's like, do I like it? And it's like I don't know. I can't see him losing. You know what I mean? Like that's how they've presented this. It's like he's not gonna lose. And it's like, will that be a good thing? Overall though, I would give the entire season, I never really was bored with it. And I think for a first season, I would give it a 9 out of 10. Again, my only issue was the one that I just said. But the opening of the show was really good. The ending of the show was solid. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed Cha-Cha, and I think that's about all I got. Season 2 comes out later this year, I think. And now I'm going to do my first couple episodes review of Fearin', and I'm going to continue watching that. So, road to 100K. If you stayed for this long, appreciate you for watching. And yeah, that's about it. On to the next one.